You wake up in New Orleans in December 1803. You own nothing. No family, no land, no reputation. The French flag is coming down over the Plaza de Armas, and the American flag is taking its place. For everyone else in the city, this transfer of power brings deep panic and political chaos. For you, the next 30 years are already written. You know something that neither the French merchants nor the Spanish plantation owners understand. United States President Thomas Jefferson has just purchased the entire Louisiana territory from Napoleon Bonaparte for $15 million. That works out to roughly 3 cents an acre for 828,000 square miles. The local elite think New Orleans is a distant swampy outpost plagued by yellow fever and seasonal floods. You know it is about to become the single most profitable choke point for trade on the American continent. Every single agricultural commodity grown in the vast American heartland must flow down the Mississippi River to reach the global market. How do you turn this future knowledge into absolute financial dominance? You start on the muddy docks as a tally clerk, earning a single silver dollar a day. You sleep on coarse sugar sacks inside a drafty warehouse and save every single cent. Within 6 months of relentless labor, you have accumulated $80 in silver coin. Now comes your first critical decision point. Do you buy a small, comfortable commercial plot inside the established French Quarter? Or do you buy undeveloped, flooded marshland just upstream in an area known as the Faubourg Sainte-Marie? The French Quarter plot costs $80 and offers safe, immediate rental income from local Creole shopkeepers. The upstream marshland is completely unusable, submerged under 6 inches of mud, but costs only $15 for a massive parcel. Most investors choose immediate safety over distant expansion. You choose the swamp. Why? Because you know that as trade explodes, the narrow French Quarter will completely run out of physical space within 5 years. The city has nowhere to grow except upriver, along the muddy banks of the Mississippi. You purchase 3 full riverfront lots in the swamp for $45, keeping $35 as cash reserves. For 2 full years, local merchants mock your investment as you clear brush and dig drainage ditches by hand under the burning sun. Then, history moves exactly as you foresaw. 1793, Eli Whitney patented the mechanical cotton gin, making short staple cotton enormously profitable across the American South. British textile mills as Manchester are expanding at a record pace, demanding millions of pounds of raw American cotton every year. By 1806, massive shipments of cotton, timber, and flour begin pouring down the river on crude wooden flatboats. Flatboats are heavy, simple rafts that can only travel downstream with the current. When flatboat crews arrive in New Orleans after weeks on the river, they face a nightmare scenario. The narrow French Quarter wharves are gridlocked with hundreds of boats. Captains are forced to pay exorbitant daily waiting fees while their cargo rots under torrential rains. After selling their goods, these crews have to break up their flatboats for scrap timber and walk back north along the dangerous Natchez Trace Trail because they cannot row against the current. Your flooded swamp is now the only open riverfront property available near the city center. You spend your remaining $35 hiring local laborers to construct sturdy timber docks and open-air storage sheds on your drained land. You charge flatboat captains half the price of the city docks for fast, reliable offloading. Within 12 months, every river trader from Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee is bypassing the old city center to dock at your facility. Your $45 investment is now generating $300 in cash profit every single month. By 1810, you have accumulated $12,000 in liquid capital. Now, a far greater technological revolution is approaching. You know that inventor Robert Fulton and his partner Robert Liffingis are currently testing steam engines on northern rivers. In 1811, their experimental steamboat, the New Orleans, will attempt the impossible journey down the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. Everyone in New Orleans believes a steam engine is too weak to push a heavy vessel upstream against the fierce Mississippi current. They believe river trade will always remain a one-way trip. Do you use your $12,000 to buy a traditional fleet of hand-rowed cargo barges? Or do you risk everything to secure exclusive deep-water wharf leases and build specialized steamship docks? Cargo barges offer safe, predictable returns right now. Steamship docks require massive upfront capital for a technology that locals consider a suicidal fantasy. You choose the steamship docks. You buy up 2,000 feet of deep-water riverfront land directly adjacent to your original parcel. You construct heavy timber piers equipped with mechanical cranes, coal storage yards, and reinforced brick warehouses. In late 1811, Captain Nicholas Roosevelt steers the historic steamboat New Orleans safely into your port, surviving the legendary New Madrid earthquakes along the way. The world changes overnight. What used to be a grueling 4-month journey upstream by hand-rowed keelboat is suddenly reduced to less than 2 weeks by steam power. River trade does not just grow, it explodes exponentially across the entire Mississippi Valley. New Orleans transforms into the second busiest port in the United States, behind only New York City, because your docks are the only ones designed specifically to handle heavy steamships and rapid fuel replenishment. Major shipping lines line up to lease your facilities. You do not sell the land. Instead, you execute long-term ground leases that require shipping companies to pay you annual rents while maintaining the piers at their own expense. By 1814, your annual rental income reaches $50,000. Then, the first major historical crisis arrives. The War of 1812 reaches a bloody climax as British military forces approach the Gulf Coast to capture New Orleans and seize control of the continent's mouth. Panic strikes the city. Property values collapse by 80% in a single chaotic week. Wealthy plantation owners and panic-stricken merchants flee into the interior, selling off cotton stocks, warehouses, and land for pennies on the dollar. Do you join the panic and sell your assets to protect what cash you have left? Or do you leverage your remaining capital to buy up distressed real estate across the city? You know that on January 8, 1815, General Andrew Jackson will decisively defeat the British Army at the Battle of New Orleans. You know the War of 1812 is already officially over in Europe, with the signing of the Treaty of Ghent. While others sell in terror, you buy aggressively. You spend $40,000 acquiring prime commercial buildings along Canal Street and thousands of bales of abandoned cotton sitting in warehouses. 3 weeks later, news of Jackson's overwhelming victory reaches the city, followed immediately by official peace confirmation. Confidence returns in a massive speculative wave. Property values do not just recover, they double beyond pre-war levels. The cotton you bought for pennies per pound is exported to British textile mills for astronomical profits. By 1820, the antebellum cotton boom reaches full force. New Orleans is now handling over half of all United States exports, earning its title as the Crescent City. Your small parcel of $45 swampland is now the bustling financial and commercial center of the American South. You branch out into regional banking, founding a merchant finance house that provides short-term credit to cotton traders, sugar planters, and steamboat companies. You use your banking influence to back major infrastructure projects, including early canals and rail lines linking the river directly to wealthy sugarcane plantations. By 1830, your initial $80 investment has grown into an unstoppable economic empire of riverfront wharves, commercial real estate, bank equity, and shipping stock. Your total net worth stands at $2.5 million. In modern currency, that is equivalent to over $85 million. More importantly, you controlled the ultimate financial bottleneck of 19th century North America. So, what is the ultimate lesson from your historical strategy? Most people invest in where wealth is already visible today. The greatest fortunes in history were built by identifying the physical choke points where future trade must inevitably pass tomorrow. You arrived in New Orleans with nothing in 1803. You saw a gold mine where others saw a swamp. You owned the future before it ever arrived. Would you have made the same choice?